Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtaketips.com. Well, a couple of videos ago we made a blog carousel like this one, kind of 3D with that middle image sticking out a little bit, using the loop system and some blog posts. We had a great question. Somebody said, well, can you do it with products? Absolutely. As you can see what we've got here. If I hover over it, it's going to stop. If I click on the options button there, it's going to take us to the product page itself. Really easy to do and really nice little thing to have on your site. So let's get started. I've got the page open here. If you haven't, just edit with Divi. I've got a section here. It's got a little divider at the top. Inside I've got a single row. It's got a group carousel in it. Let's get rid of that and we'll start from scratch. Okay, so I'm going to add a new row. I'm going to use a single flex column. And we're going to be using the great new Group Carousel module to do this today. There's the carousel module, the grey tab there. As you can see, it puts in a single slide with no content in it. And if we look over here under content under the Group Carousel, here's that carousel slide. I'm going to go into it by hitting the little pencil there. I'm going to go to elements. Now you can add any combination of modules or whatever you want to add. I'm going to keep mine fairly simple today by using a call to action. So I'm going to hit add. Let's find a call to action. Like I say, you can add any combination you want to do this. I'm going to keep it very simple by just having that. I'm not going to edit any of that. Perhaps the button I'll have say options. I'm going to leave it just like that. Now here comes the fun part. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back one, which is the actual group or single slide. If I go back one more, we were in the group carousel. The group is our single slide right here. You'll see if I click on it again, it says group up there. I'm going to go down and loop it. Under content, you'll find loop, new Divi 5 feature. I'm going to hit loop element. What do I want to display? Well, not posts this time. I want to display products. And some people have had trouble finding it. If you actually click on here, you can't see it. All you need to do is roll down a little bit. It's on the bottom there. And we can show posts with specific terms, categories, or specific posts. And every time it says posts here, because we've got products selected, it means products. So I'm going to select a few categories, say dresses, bags, shirts, and shoes, why not? Obviously add as many or as few as you want to add to yours. We roll down a little bit. You can exclude posts or only include specific posts, as we mentioned before, and you can order them by publish date, ID, title, post name, last modified date. And publish date is great because you can always change the publish date of your product to fit the way you want it to display. It makes no difference at all. And you can have order descending. Number of posts, it's defaulted to 10. I'm going to leave it like that. I don't know if I've got more than that or not in those products. Perhaps we'll try upping that later. Now, before I go any further, and this is really obvious, and I'm sure everybody knows it, you need to have created some products before this is even going to work. I probably should have mentioned that earlier. If we go back to our dashboard, this is a site that I initially built with Divi 4, and we migrated it to Divi 5, and we did a whole e-commerce video about it. You'll find that down below here. So once you install WooCommerce, you have to create some products. If I click on the products page here, I've got a load of products. They got various categories. That were those categories that I selected earlier on. And some of them are regular products, some of them are variable. But I just wanted to make that clear for anybody that didn't know. I know it's obvious, but somebody's going to ask that question. Okay, let's go back here. Let's roll down a little bit more. I think we're fairly happy with that. Let's make the magic happen now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the pink call to action here. As you can see, it's taken us straight to it. For the text, now we've looped it, where it says title, I'm going to go over here to the little dynamic content icon, left click, loop product title. It'll start putting in the first title for us right there. As you can see, we'll hit apply. I actually don't want any content down below that. I really just want the title and a button. But if you do, you can do the same thing for the content here. Just go over, click on the dynamic. You can put in short description, regular description, whatever you want in there. current price perhaps, but I'm going to leave mine blank. I'm going to delete everything that's there. And let's get that button to show up. I'm going to go down below to link. In the button link up here, we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to roll over to the little icon, loop product link. So that'll take it to the correct product. There's the button. Fantastic. Now for the background, I actually want it to show the featured image of each of the products here. So let's go down to background, third tab along, background image. Get rid of this color, don't need it. And again, where it says background image in the gray there, we'll hit that little dynamic content icon. Loop product featured image. And I'll put it in there. Mine are fairly low res, but we're going to fix that because we're going to have these a little bit smaller in a moment. So let's hit apply. I'm actually going to go back to the carousel now, and we're going to fix it the way we want it. So if I click on the column up here, elements, there's our group carousel. We can just go back, or you can go to wireframe mode if you want, which is really handy, and just click on it that way. Once in the carousel, let's just set the settings. I am going to have automatic rotation on. I'm not going to put it on at the moment. I'm going to use center mode so we can affect that one that's in the middle and make it larger than the others. I want to show 3 slides here. As you can see, that shrunk it down a little bit. Fantastic. You can choose the amount of slides to scroll down here. One's good for me, so it'll go this one to this one, this one to this one, etc. But if you've got a lot of products, you may decide you want to show 3 at a time. Just up that number right there. Time it takes to slide from here to here, 200 mils, pretty quick. I'm going to slow mine down to about half a second, 500 milliseconds. That's going to work for me. And we'll sort out some more timing when we turn this on in a moment. Now that they're the size that we want them, let's actually decorate them so we can read that title. We'll make that button a little nicer and show more of the image. So let's just click on any of these. It doesn't matter which one. It'll take you straight to that call to action. First thing I want to do is give them a bit more space on the top. So I'm going to go over to design. And we'll go down to spacing. Padding left, it's got 40 in there. I'm going to use viewable height for mine. I'm going to put 30. VH for viewable height, or just click on it and select VH here. Obviously, use the setting that works for you. As you can see, that gives them a lot more height there. If you want to take it down, obviously take it down. Let's compromise. We'll call it 25 this time. Okay, well, still having a bit of trouble reading the office pants part and the options part. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to go to content again, still in the call to action. I'm going to go down to background where we put that image in. I'm going to add a gradient over the top of it. And we did something similar when we did the blog post loop. I'm going to add a background gradient. Of course, you can't see it, but if we roll down here, we can switch the little switch that says place gradient above background image. I'm going to hit that, which is very good, but of course we can't see the image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the left one. I'm going to turn it into a black. For the time being, I'm going to take the opacity all the way down so you won't see it at all, and we can see our image there. But I really don't want that green. So I'm going to click on the green. I'm going to make that a black. Now we can read this really well. We can see the image is okay, but if you want it to highlight more of the button and the title, what we can do, we can drag this top one, which is the opaque one, down by left clicking on it and just pulling it to the right. As you can see, that's clearing up the top part right there. So take it down to where you want it. I'm going to adjust that text and button in a minute, put it over the left and get it a little bit smaller. That's okay. Now, some of my images have got a white top up here, which doesn't really stand out against the background very well. So we can cheat by, again, clicking on that top one. Take the opacity just up a little bit. It'll give it, grey it out slightly, make it stand out against that white, but you'll still be able to see the image nice and clearly. Fantastic. Okay, well, let's sort out our title and button. Really easy. I'm going to go to our design. Here's the title text. First thing I want to do is actually go into the text itself. I'm going to have everything on the left there. We can do this with flex, but there's no need to at the moment. We're just doing that. Now my title text. Let's perhaps have it semi-bold. I might take it down a little bit in size. I'm going to leave it the same color, maybe make it 18 pixels or something. I think you can read that okay. Obviously adjust to taste. Take it up and down with the little arrows there, or type in whatever value works for you. If you want it to stand out even just a little bit more, give it a little bit of text shadow, just lift it off a little extra bit there. And our button, we're still in design, we'll roll past our heading text. Here's our button. And obviously, if you're using the body text, you can style it any way you want also. We use custom styles. I'm really not going to do too much for this. Don't want a button background, button border. I'm going to perhaps up that to 30 so we've got some nice round corners. Change check so it'll do all 4 sides at once. Still a little bit too big for me. So I'm going to take that text down a little bit. Button text down below here. Let's take it down to perhaps 16. See what that does. I think that works for me. And if you want that title slightly closer to it, we can go back into the title again. Just roll back to the title text. We can do that with a bit of line height. No need to mess with any negative margins or anything. If I take that line height down to a 0 perhaps, it'll tighten it up. Great. Well, I think that's working for me okay. Let's make this middle one bigger and we'll animate this thing. So again, I'm going to go to the carousel or group module, which is the grey tab up here. Or you can go to wireframe mode like we did, or just keep going back until you see Group Carousel up here. If we go under Content, in the Settings, you turn Center Mode on. When you turn Center Mode on, it's always going to keep one in the middle. And the one that's in the middle is called the Active Group, basically the one you're looking at. So if we go over to Design now, we've got Groups and we've got Active Groups. One in the center will be the active, all the others will be the group. We can go down to Transform at the bottom. There's all kinds of things you do, but I'm going to make it bigger. If we go down to Transform at the bottom here, first one's Transform Scale. I'm going to take mine up, well, I don't know, about 10% or so. Maybe a little bit more. Again, you can increment and fine tune with the little arrows here. Let's go for something like that. That's going to work for me. If I flip, you'll see the next one's going to become the active group and grow large like that too. And just to offset it, I like to give it a little box shadow. It makes it stand out a little bit more. Just a lower one like that. Fantastic. Now the black's okay for our arrows. I think I'd actually like to turn those white. So if we shut that down again, shut down our active group, here are the arrows just at the top. Remember, we're under design in the group carousel. I'm going to flip those to white, I believe. Obviously, do what works for you. And we can close that up. There's the dot nav there. I'm going to leave that exactly like it is. But if you want to, you can change the size and the color down here. Or if you don't want to see it at all, we can do that in Content, Elements, Show dot nav. If you want to, we can turn it off. Let's just turn it off for the time being. Great. Well, let's make this animate automatically. Oh, the other thing while we're here, if you want to, you can choose a different icon for the left and right arrows by doing a search. Change it to whatever works for you. I'm quite happy with those there. So again, we're in a group carousel content, close down elements, carousel settings, automatic rotation. I'm going to turn that on now. You won't see it rotate on the back end here, but hopefully it will when we go to the front end. Time it takes, this is not the time one slide goes to the other slide, it's the time it's going to pause on each slide before it goes to the next one. I'm going to up mine from, well, 2 seconds, let's say 5 seconds, 5,000 milliseconds. Give them a chance to see it. It's going to pause on hover, which means if they put their mouse over it, it's going to stop so they can look at the picture, read the title, and hit the options if they want to. So we should be good to go. Let's check this out. I'm going to save draft. Let's get rid of our old preview up here. I'm going to hit a new preview. And there we have it. After 5 seconds, it's going to roll on to the next one. We put the mouse over it, it's going to pause. If we click on the options, it's going to take us to that particular product. Perfect. We hit the back button. Obviously, it's going to take us back here and start rolling again. Now, if you wanted the whole image or anywhere they click on this to take them to the same link as we did for the button here, I'm sure a lot of you figured it out. I'll quickly show you. We can go in here, go to any call to action. It doesn't matter which one. Click on it till it says call to action. Under content in the link here, we put the button link URL as loop product link URL. We can put the whole module link to the same one. loop product link URL. We'll apply that. Now if I resave and we re-preview, if I roll over, it's going to pause again, but you'll see we've got that little hand indicating that something's going to happen when we click on this, and this should take us straight to the product again. Absolutely perfect. So there you have it. There's how to create a nice little 3D type product carousel using the great new Group Carousel module and the Looper system. And these are all available in the new Divi 5, and if you want to try it out, you can try it out from the link below. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you have any questions, pop them down below. I'll do my best to answer them for you or make a little demo video just like this one. Do bear in mind, Divi 5 at this particular moment in time is still in the beta version. It's going to be released soon, but for most things it seems to be working very well. I built a couple of personal sites with it and I'm very happy with them, but I'm not actually going to update any of my client sites with it until probably the final release 5.01 or 5.02, something like that. All the other sites are on Divi 4, which still works absolutely perfectly. But Divi 5 is a whole lot faster and I'm really loving the build interface, and it's got so many new features. It saves you installing a lot of plugins to get things done. So once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.